We're in game 4, winners bracket final, RESIN versus BONKZ. My map. Here we go. Price in our COTS build gearing. Mad Dog in a typical daring, and Triarch in his Gdansk, followed up by Eagle Lance in a range build Stalingrad, Elgar the Smoke Hider in Salem, that is radar, $1.99 for Guac in a Petropavlovsk with range, Big Boy 69 in a unique upgrade Des Moines, Peyton the Rock Hider in a Sniper Spec Vermont with DCP in slot 1, Wolfman also Sniper Spec, although he wants more uptime for his spotting plane in slot 1. Raptor, what's BONKZ bringing in red?
BONKZ still hanging on by their fingernails, just having fresh off their victory in game 3, fielding a triple destroyer lineup of their own, spearheaded by Dyer's Gearing here, headed as a part of this 4-ship echelon down towards the sea cap. He's backed up by Admiral Tester's Petropavlovsk range and top grade gunner, Disquarius's Des Moines unique upgrade and outnumbered, and Kermit now moving into a Bourgogne Zath, one of your favorites, going with some survivability build, a little bit of extra healing power, and all the reload he can pack into the hull. Battleship
and
Nagato
brisk for the speed too.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, French battleship. Battleship Nagato's Gdansk moving aggressively here to the middle, headed towards B right away. Backed up by Chukwama's Stalingrad, also running range. Very popular build on this map. Heading north, only 3 ships. Todd Howard's Gearing, very standard COTS build. All the torpedo reload you can pack into that hull. Addie's San Martin with outnumbered and reload. And Murica's Montana, who for the moment is kind of slowly trolling here, playing a little towards mid. Taking just blind. He's firing at the darkness, Zath, I think, just to see who can spot him from there.
He is casting magic missile.
Casting magic missile at the darkness. Indeed he is.
And attacking the darkness. That's right.
Quick reminder, banned ships for this match. Again, Marseille back on the ban list, and Harugamo finally finding its way there.
Yeah, odd pick for that, but we've seen a lot of 420 Blaze Up builds with Haru, so I guess I can see that.
Yeah, for both teams. It forces you into picking a slightly different ship to do the smoke tricks.
Yeah, like a gearing.
Like a gearing, which both teams have taken at least one gearing, right? So I get it.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I mean, Smoke Yang is also a possibility, right? If you're interested, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing worth pointing out, Zath, and we've talked about this in other games on Faroe Islands, but for the moment, RESIN with a much heavier deployment up around AB, 6 ships lurking around that cap, only 3 ships back towards D, whereas BONKZ opting for a 4-ship echelon down at C. You have to presume they're going to make the turn and push D, only using 3 ships hanging around mid and 2 ships up near the A cap playing defense.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I think we're seeing the home cap push being a lot more popular amongst teams on this map.
The strategy has certainly turned out to be popular. The execution has not always worked in everyone's favor. It just depends on circumstances.
That's right. All right, we got a destroyer slab fight. Daring detected on radar. Nagato smoking up at B cap. Getting some chip damage into Mad Dog.
Well, Nagato took a radar. They pushed him off the cap with the Stalin or the Petro radar, one of the two. I forget which. I think it was the Petro radar. Yeah,
it was.
And so now he's returning the favor, pushing Mad Dog off the cap with his own radar. Oh no, that wasn't his. That was Chukwama's radar. My apologies.
Yeah, Nagato's is still available, which is important if Mad Dog decides he wants to back up again.
4 minutes gone, both teams on a cap. A and B, a bunch of ships staring angrily across open water as the C line, what we presume is going to be a BONKZ push from C to D, starting to kind of work its way into position. Tester's Petro taking the inside track. Dyer's Gearing leading the way. You have to believe that once his smoke goes up, the Squarius and Kermit will be right on his heels.
Mad Dog narrowly dodging Gdansk torpedoes there. I mean, he's got Heiser going, but wow.
Another radar coming in on
detected?
Nagato. Yep. Stalingrad radar picking him up. He takes a little more chip damage, but still in the game at about a little over half HP.
Yep. Admiral Tester's Petro radars
Reversing now. There goes the Gdansk radar, about to pick up Mad Dog on the surface right there. So now the shells will come in from Nagato, and Mad Dog will have to get off the cap. Oh, the games we play, Zath. Yeah, they picked up Tester.
Oh, big hit on Todd Howard's. I think that was a torpedo he took.
Triarch's
And,
Gdansk also not looking very good up here.
yeah, and Peyton just took a couple of gearing torpedoes. Yeah, Todd hasn't been detected yet, so that had to have been torpedoes.
Well, Big Boy also got slapped by something, Zath. Might have been the Montana, might have been the Stalin, not sure. But his DM down here on the bottom of the map at about half HP.
Mm-hmm.
They know there's more than Tester.
He's been backing off. He was radared earlier, and that's probably where the shells were coming in from. I would think it would have been the Stalingrad that had his side, but in any case, they're being pushed back. The home cap push is working so far for BONKZ.
Mad Dog's daring, grabbing B for resin. They'll start to tick up a small cap advantage here.
More
6
torpedoes
minutes gone.
coming in a Mad Dog. He doesn't have Hydro this time. Oh.
Yikes.
I think in real life the propeller might have triggered that,
So
that
now,
torpedo.
Zath, they're moving Chukwama's Stalin around the corner of the island. They're leading. They're moving everybody out, right? Nagato's Gdansk out here trying to start to farm some health off of Eagle Lance, and he's able to get those shots for free from his current position. They've got eyes on Big Boy again.
Yes.
More big AP salvos headed downrange in his direction.
Big Boy is radaring. He's trying to farm out Dyer, but, I mean,
They
Dyer's
can't.
full health.
They can see Dyer, but it looks like he's only getting the stern turrets on.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Boy is obviously forced to try to, not die because he's quite low on health. He's got a heal ticking, though. Price opening up, realizing, well, they're not going to shoot me anyway. They're going to shoot my teammate.
Yep. Kermit's Murgonia now well spotted, emerging from the smoke cloud left by Dyer, putting his HE downrange on Big Boy. Presumably on Big Boy. They have to be trying to convert this kill.
I mean, Big Boy's running out of map to kite away to.
Oh, big hits.
Yeah.
5K burning, healing and burning.
Heal is down. Heal is out.
Heals expires. There you go. Big kill. BONKZ claims first blood here. Up on points, but down on caps. 8 minutes played.
All right, so with Resin losing that ship, are they going to then decide to push at A? I mean, if I'm Resin, I'm thinking I gotta do something.
I think they're making the exact opposite call. If you check out Triarch and Peyton, it almost feels like they're pulling ships back to receive this push.
Well, yeah, I see that. Now, typically in tournaments and the game in general, when you push, you have to give up HP to do it. They're not in a position where they want to give up that HP, so they're going to instead try to receive the push and try to chip down more of BONKZ. It could work. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the HP on each team actually fairly even, as it's actually Battleship Nagato's Gdansk that's going to lead the way into the decap here. Dyer's smoke going up to block vision for the ships behind him. Gdansk pops his radar, knows Frice is pushed off the cap.
I would like to also mention I really liked how Battleship Nagato radared just to check the decap first. Saw nothing. Now he's smoking and shooting Eagle Lance to Stalingrad, trying to back him off.
Yep. Well, with the radar moved off of this flank, they know the smoke clouds become a little more safe, especially given that they've pushed Eagle Lance so far back. They should be able to grab and retain control of the decap, as Resin's also making a play for A up here, Zath, between Elgar and Mad Dog's Daring.
Well, it's almost like they saw the Petro come back, and as soon as you see that battleship leave the area, right, you're like, okay, well, they might be, as you said, rotating ships to go receive the push. I like this aggression. I really do.
Mad Dog's Daring gonna easily dodge these torpedoes with his hydro cooking. Addy trying to get shells into Elgar, but I mean, from that angle, he might get a little bit of ship damage. It's not going to be worth much.
Yeah, this is a very, very strong position for Salem to be in. We've seen this before from this spot. It's going to be very difficult for BONKZ to farm out Elgar here. especially with a San Martin. That's just you're not going to do it.
Now, just like that, we're over the halfway mark of the game. There's only 40 points between these two teams as finally all of the caps are owned. I got to say, Zach, I'm a little surprised. You know, you talked about maybe Resin pushing through A. When you look at how isolated, you pull up the map, you look at how isolated Addy and Todd Howard's are. It's like, man, if they really got pushed, you could probably convert those kills.
And I almost wonder if Resin is thinking about that. If you look at Peyton, he's in Vermont, so he's got to launch all the rocket engines, but he's heading that way right now. So now you're
BONKZ, Seth. You've picked up the C-cap, your D-port, your D-pick has worked, you're up on it, you're up a ship. Now what? How do you sustain this and carry this through to victory in your mind?
Well, is BONKZ winning right now?
Yes.
So
but you have to
what they need
Go ahead.
What they need to do is make sure they minimize mistakes. They got to get into a position to receive a push. They have to expect something coming through the A cap at some point. Addy's detected right now. He's radaring, catches Mad Dog out. So they absolutely can't afford to lose like Addy, for example, or anybody for that matter. They got to be very, very good at using hydro and rotating through that. That's the hardest part of this game, is just holding, because as soon as one person goes down or gets slapped, everything becomes more tenuous.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Addy, I'm not even going to sit in the smoke, for example.
Well, Addy still has adequate heals left, right? And I think we have to remember that the San Martin, one of the things here is Addy just cares about landing shell hits to speed up the cycle on the funny button, the ability that the San Martin has, right? She's not really don't really care about damage per se. Just got to land shell hits.
And I'll tell you what, of all the games in King of the Sea this season we have cast, I just haven't seen it be that effective.
Peyton
what are we holding?
Peyton just got dunked for 40K from Murica's Montana.
I can see that, yeah. Let's take a look at that shot. Beautiful angle.
Oh, he had a great angle for it. Peyton wasn't really paying attention or looking. I'm not sure. Didn't think Murica's guns were flipped, but either way, Murica lands it. Big hits.
I don't think Murica... Well, yeah, he might have been spotted. He probably would have been. Oh, he's trying it again, I think.
Frice is gearing.
He's Squarius!
Oh, what happened there?
He got caught broadside, got 1-2 punched. Wolfman's Vermont in the face, followed with Eagle Lance's Stalingrad. Wow. And what was I talking about?
Don't
Minimize
make mistakes. Don't make mistakes.
That's
well,
a big one.
They're going to use that to their advantage, because now, I'll say, Frice had been edging nearer to the cap, caught on radar now. They pushed Nagato off. All kinds of torpedoes out here looking for Nagato and Kermit.
Yep. Torp's coming by Triarch. He's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, he was stern on. Okay. I'm looking at the Des Moines.
Yeah, he was stern
on. So those were butt citadels, possibly.
Yeah,
from
very
Wolfman's Vermont.
Very possibly. That's something that Des Moines' armor scheme allows for. If the shells land in the right place, you'll take citadels right through this very flat stern.
Mm-hmm. Triarch radaring, catching Dyer out.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is not good for Dyer.
No, Dyer's angled away. He's going to have to make some plays here, and I think it's really the Vermont salvo that's going to hurt him. Frice is not going to open up here. Frice is not going to risk taking the damage, so it's really all on Triarch and Wolfman to land damage on Dyer as the radar expires.
Yeah. So one thing about the Gdansk radar, it gives them info, but not a lot of uptime.
Yeah, it doesn't. What is it, like 15 seconds maybe? It's not much.
No, yeah.
Well, it's a 60-point lead in holding for Resin. 5.5 minutes to play.
It's about to be bigger. Todd
Howard's is going out. They're fishing for this kill. They want it. They know they got to have it. Mad Dog's also very, very low back there.
Yep.
Todd Howard's has still got one more smoke left. He and Addy have been just doing the Lord's work at this A cap for so long, Zath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting that two people have been holding back essentially the majority of this team, right?
Okay.
Blind shots coming in. Oh,
Oh,
Triarch
Triarch.
goes down.
That's a huge kill. Dyer getting a little bit of revenge there. That flips the points back now. Now it's a 30-ish point, 40-point lead, almost exactly, for BONKZ here. Now, have a look at Chukwama. They've pulled the Stalingrad out. I've been looking at that ship for a while going, why are they leaving him there? He's got nothing to shoot at. They're finally moving him north. And I'm betting he's going to cut straight up the 4 line and come sit right here on the south side of this cap with his guns looking and his radar looking north to try to pick up this kill on Mad Dog.
Look at Elgar just guessing as much as he can.
Yeah,
Love
they
it.
they
One
know
shell
how
hit.
they know how low that gearing is.
4
Torpedoes
minutes to go in this game. 4 minutes.
Yep, it's going to come down to the wire. However, it comes down.
And the thing is, if I'm Todd, I don't even want to smoke right now.
No,
I'm
you
sure
tell him where you are. That's terrible.
Exactly. Now, Mad Dog, I'm sure, is using radio location. He's pinging on the map, right? Elgar, does he have radio location? He does. So between the 2 radio locations, they can kind of triangulate, and that's where those shells were coming. You saw they came very close.
I saw the Stalin salvo go in on Elgar,
Yeah.
and I think Elgar was not expecting those shells. It knocked out one of his turrets. He does take
And
a torpedo.
3 minutes, 30 seconds now. This is a close game.
About as close as we've seen. Again, 40 points between the teams. Info radar going up from Chukwama now. They can see Peyton pushing in. Shoes firmly on Resin's foot to make a play. They have to do something to force a change in the status quo because they're currently trailing.
And the thing is, I mean, the only place they can really push
is
through caps they already own.
Yeah.
So what are you going to get from that?
I mean, you've got to luck. I mean, I don't know. I like Chukwama's position because I think it's an acknowledgement of exactly what you just said. BONKZ is like, all right, you want to push through here to hunt down and secure these kills to flip the score. You're going to pay for it, right? I've got my Stalin railguns ready for you.
I want to point out Todd Howard's now in the gearing. He is purposely farther away
than he needs to be.
From Mad Dog and from Elgar. So when I was talking about that radio location triangulation,
they were RPF.
They're shooting at Addy right now with radio location. They're thinking that's where the destroyer is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, they were blind firing at the RPF triangulation position.
Yes.
And now Addy opens up.
What?
I have to believe Peyton's guns are looking the other way. Why else would you take this risk? Yeah, Peyton's guns are looking back over his left shoulder. I'm not sure why you do this, but that's what he's doing. 2 minutes now. Still a 40-point lead for BONKZ. This is a must-win games for BONKZ if they want to stay in the winner's bracket.
That's right. And force the game 5.
Frice is gearing now, again, edging towards the edge of the cap here. I'm betting we're going to see him step back on. Either that or they're going to shove Wolfman in, one or the other. Maybe both.
Yeah. Well, Battleship Nagato smoke is about to... Well, he just put his smoke down, so he'll be able to farm for a little bit longer.
Well, Wolfman is going to miss the Gdansk torps, but he's not going to miss the gearing torps. He's going to take at least one of these. Right on the midships, right on the belt.
Mm-hmm.
If they shove Wolfman in and just stop those points, they don't even have to cap. Just by denying those points to BONKZ, it allows them to overtake. Radar now coming up from Tester.
Yep. Just throw the brick in. I love that radar. Catches Frice.
Yep. They can see Frice now.
All the radars going up now. Everybody's radar. If they've got radar, they're using it.
You got to pull out the stops now, guys. You're under 60 seconds. The points continue to close now. It's less than a 30-point lead for RESIN. They're trying to get a kill on Frice.
Seconds.
They aren't going to get it. Frice ducks out of the radar. Back in very briefly.
Oh my God.
20-point lead. 30 seconds. Stalingrad. Look at Chukwama. He's headed to B. If they can get him on to B and hold him there with a lead, that's good enough if everybody lives. They're going to pull it off with about a 10-point lead.
Lives.
If everyone lives. And right there it is. It's a 16-point lead. 12-point lead, excuse me, for BONKZ.
Seconds remaining. Wolfman taking all the hits. Wolfman's going out.
There it is. That's it. When Wolfman goes down, that secures the game for BONKZ. We're going to game 5, Zath.
Game 5.
What a well-executed game from both teams. Do you feel like maybe RESIN played it a little too safe and sat a little too long?
Yes.
Okay.
100% towards the end there.
Definitely towards the end. They kept, they moved Frice back in towards that decap a couple of times to try to steal it or bait a radar or something, and they kept trying, and I kept looking at it going, man, there's 4 ships around there. I'm not sure how you're ever going to get back into D. I feel like, we talked about the push earlier, up against Addy or Todd Howard's might have made a difference, but we'll never know.
Yeah, a great job by both teams. In the end, I think what really did it was rotating Chukwama back up to the north there. Just to close off that whole avenue of push.
And he ends up being the hero of the game by diving into the B cap and stopping. So then everybody's only ticking up 1 cap, right? So there you go.
Yep.
So that makes all the difference. All right, lots to unpack here.
Yeah. Let's send it back to the studio. Let them unpack. We'll unpack.